Hey everybody, so today I am going to be heading over to meet up with Sharon Crowley, who is the owner and operator of the Center for Healing. She has these two very unique machines in her facility called the Harmonic Egg. So very little that I know about the Harmonic Egg is that it's kind of like it's an egg, and kind of like a sort of like a sensory deprivation chamber. You go inside, except they produce sound, frequencies, and also light as a form of therapy. So her recommendation to make this video was that for me to not record or video myself coming out of the process, which was a very, very good recommendation, because for my very first experience with it, after I got through the experience, I was out. I was very chill, very relaxed, and as soon as I got home, I slept probably for like a good solid 3 to 4 hours, and then the next day I also slept probably like I was up for maybe about an hour or two, and then I went back to sleep, and then the next morning I got up and I slept for probably another like 2 or 3 hours. My experience with it was that it gave me a nice reset, turned off my brain, turned off my body, and just kind of disconnected, and it allowed me to be just relax and rest. So it was a very, very restful experience. So the funny thing and the amazing thing is, and I got some videos in this, is that even standing next to the machine, I was trying to communicate what it was I was experiencing. And what I experienced was that every time I was thinking of thoughts and I was trying to find words to explain, narrate what it was that I was going through, as soon as I think of a thought, the presence of the machine, its light and its frequency and its energy, as soon as I think of a thought, these vibrations would break up that thought. And so as soon as I think of thought would go. I would find words to my thought would go. And then I would have a series or complex ideas, series of ideas. I would try to convey that, and then I would see just poof, the thought would just be gone, just like that. So prior to going into the machine, even before I was turned on, that was my experience. The experience was just thoughts would come up, I would think about things, and then being the presence, the frequencies, by being in the presence of the Harmonic Egg, maybe the thoughts go pop. So that was very interesting. Another thing that I found was that my session with her for the Harmonic Egg was on Friday, and then I want to say Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, but more specifically like Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, prior to my Friday appointment, I think I was already in the experience of the Harmonic Egg. Even though the event was dated and appointed to be on Friday, I felt the ripple effect of the time, the space-time continuum. I already started to feel the effects of the Friday appointment on Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday. And then I went in, had the experience. So that was a very, it was quite a profound experience. And so that's not the first time I've experienced something like that, but it is also, that lets me know that more than the physical body is being tapped into when you use these types of frequency changing, altering, products. So anyway, that's enough of that, and then we're gonna go meet up with Sharon, ask her a couple questions, and kind of take a look at her place. All right. What sparked the idea for the Harmonic Egg?
Well, I was finishing up my Ayurvedic health counselor certification and working with my 50 clients, and there seemed to be an overarching theme, something that I was having trouble being able to utilize and give good tools for healing. As far as diet and lifestyle, I knew exactly how to help them, but when it came to that middle point of balancing the mind and the body and the emotional state, so that then the body could heal, and all of the good things that you're putting into your body and all the good things that you're doing will actually benefit. COVID happened, and I was in lockdown at home for the first time in many, many years, and so I was streaming the Gaia channel, and on the Gaia channel was an interview with Regina Meredith and Gail Lynn, the inventor of the Harmonic Egg. And as I was watching, I was just really bowled over by the fact that I felt like this was the missing piece of the journey that I had been on, and if I could only, you know, be in a resonant chamber and relax my nervous system, and it helps me get there in a way that I'm not able to do with meditation, or I'm not able to do with any type of balancing practice, especially when I'm so out of balance. I felt like it was really the missing piece. So from the moment that I discovered the Harmonic Egg, I set out on a mission of obtaining a Harmonic Egg. So that's how I got here. And then I opened in November of 2020 and had my first egg delivered, and opened, and it was well received, and I got my second egg, and so now I have 2 eggs at this location, and lots of fun work going on.
So what was your first experience with your Harmonic Egg?
I flew to Denver, and I went to the original Harmonic Egg Life Center location with Gail Lynn, the inventor. And I stepped in. She had asked me a couple of questions about what I was looking for, you know, what things might not be moving along great, whether it be with my body or emotionally or mind. And so we had a brief discussion. She put me in the egg. And my settings, I think, were primarily centered around liver and obviously balancing my autonomic nervous system, but liver was something I had been trying to work on quite a bit. So I had a session that had those energies and tones and notes in the music. And at the beginning I thought, am I vibrating? And then after that I thought, am I still in my chair? And then I was very, very, very peaceful in a place that I hadn't been probably unless I was deep into meditation or far away on a beach on the best vacation I had ever had. It was wonderful. But then I found myself having subtle energy shifts. There was a point in time where I could feel and see the different, almost like the musical scales all floating in front of me. And if you were watching sound move, it was magical. And when I came out, I felt extremely peaceful, very excited, because I knew it was that my life was going to be different. So yeah, it was great. Beautiful, subtle energy shift. And what I have seen is that everybody that comes through has a different experience. So the egg has a tendency to meet you where you're at. So it met me where I was at that day, which was obviously very excited. But I was calm, and everything was easy after that. So,
what are the types of things that people bring in for the Harmonic Egg? Like, what are some of the things that you're noticing as far as
themes?
Themes.
Yeah.
Maybe transitions in life, maybe
Absolutely.
certain health conditions, or whatever the case may be. What
Well,
are some of the things?
One of the biggest ones, obviously, has been the anxiety that's been going on, and lots of people had gone home, and it was a good thing, where they realized that they needed to withdraw a little bit from all of the busyness in their life. For other people, there was a lot of anxiety involved with being alone or the fear. So I did, for the first 9-10 months, there was a lot of fear and anxiety and nervous system. Then another thing I see frequently is digestion, liver. So many folks are dealing with those different things. And we store emotions in our organs, as you know. Don't have to tell you that. But I will see a lot of folks dealing with grief. We're doing the work in the lungs, and different colors and different tones and notes all relate to different areas of your body. So that is how we would go in. So if somebody comes in with the anxiety, we're dealing with, you know, the blues and the purples and the greens and calming their nervous system. If they're coming in with liver and they might need liver benefit, then I'm going to use more stimulating colors and different instruments for liver. Flute is really good for liver. So those are, I see a lot of liver and I see a lot of anxiety. I also see, for those folks that are looking for what's next, getting quiet so that they can begin to create and releasing any sort of blocks that might be keeping them from taking the next step. So I get quite a bit of that as well.
And then how often should people come in?
No sooner than every 5 to 7 days. In the beginning, I find that if folks have appointments a little bit closer to each other, it really, your body begins to maintain that state longer and longer and longer, just like any healing modality. But so some people do it every 2 weeks. Some people start and do a package and come weekly for a month and then spread it out a little bit more as they're integrating longer or as it's holding longer and longer. It just depends on what you're looking for and how many sessions it might take. Something that's really chronic could be more sessions and more closely together, and something that has just come on, or if it's spiritual work, you may want to space those out a little bit so that you can get some time in between.
So for somebody who's coming in for the first time, like explain what can they expect to experience from a first experience?
Well, on the first session, that's the intro to the Harmonic Egg session. So I have some intake paperwork, and so you would come in and you would fill out the paperwork. We'd have a brief discussion about what you're looking for. I would assess the paperwork based on the music and sessions that I think would be of benefit. I also look at it Ayurvedically as well as, you know, from the Harmonic Egg standpoint, and I merge those two things. We discuss it. And then the session itself is a 50-minute session, which is 40 minutes of music and 10 minutes of silence. The silence is to integrate the session, locks it in a little bit better, but also gets your body used to the new higher frequency. And so after that, there's a little bit of electrolytes, and as soon as you feel like going, you're on your way. So typically the first session's, you know, about an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes. And then after that, you know, an hour and 10 minutes at most when you come in. So.
And what can people expect to feel the days following?
It just depends on the person and the session and the day. Were you hydrated well enough? You know, what kind of session it was. But what I hear from people is that in the following 24, 48 hours, that they are indeed integrating. And so as long as they're hydrating, they're feeling good. And typically it's very peaceful. It's can be a subtle shift in energy. It can be a big shift in energy. And it just depends on what the session was for and where folks are when they come in.
That's great. And then are there any contraindications? Are there any people who with certain symptoms who shouldn't come in? You know,
there aren't any, there's nothing that really jumps out. The thing that I would say is that if you're doing other modalities, such as giving blood or acupuncture or a deep tissue massage or other energy work that's impactful, I would say, you know, hold off and don't do it in the days preceding or following, a couple days on either side, just so that, number one, you're honoring that other modality, but you're also honoring your egg session, and you can do too much, in my opinion, for the nervous system. And so I think it's best to be gentle with it and not overlap it. So that would be the contraindication. Also, you know, we don't typically take in, well, we don't have any sort of types of crystal healing in the egg, or it is just you and your energy within the egg. And so.
Okay, I think that's great. All right, so this is what it looks like heading in. Basically just have a seat here. So I'm gonna pop a squat and then from there, she just closes the machine. And that's pretty much it. And then once, let me use this light. There we go. That's intense. Once Sharon closes the egg, this is what it looks like inside without my little flashlight. And you sit back, you recline, and then it's about 40 minutes with sound and light, and then 10 minutes without. And that ends the session.